Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachang Hari Yamuna Tera Vanachang Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachang Hari Yamuna Tera Vanachang Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shama Sundara Radha Shama Sundara Hare. Jaya Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Jaya Radhe Sham. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Hare Bala, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Ragujaya Shata Shata Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Ragujaya Shata Shata Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavrinda ki. Sirup Si Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Jeev Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sadhu Goswami Prabhu ki. प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवजरी गौर भक्तवृंद के श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन के वृंदावन धाम के मथुरा धाम के मायापुर धाम के जगतपुरी धाम के तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी के गंगा यमुना देवी के हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ के श्री श्री गौनिताय के श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम के श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल समवेत भक्त वृंद के all glorious to the assembled devotees, all glorious to the assembled devotees, all glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, by Srila Prabhupada, 4th chapter, text number 11. Ye yathā mam prapadyante tāṁs tathaiva bhajāmy aham mama vartmānuvartante manuṣyāḥ pārtha sarvaśaḥ ye yathā mam prapadyante tāṁs tathaiva bhajāmy aham mama vartmānuvartante manuṣyāḥ pārtha sarvaśaḥ. Yes? Ye yathā mam prapadyante tathaiva bhajāmy aham mama vartmānuvartante Ye, all who, yathā, as, mam, unto me, prapadyante, surrender, tāṁs, them, tathā, so, eva, certainly, bhajāmi, reward, aham, I, mama, my, vartma, path, anuvartante, follow, manuṣyāḥ, all men, pārtha, O son of Pṛthā, sarvaśaḥ, in all respects. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pṛthā. Purport. Everyone is searching for Kṛṣṇa in the different aspects of his manifestations. Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal brahma-jyotir effulgence, and as the all-pervading Supersoul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Kṛṣṇa is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Kṛṣṇa is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Kṛṣṇa reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Kṛṣṇa as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Kṛṣṇa rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Kṛṣṇa helps also by absorbing them in his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the personal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted in the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are furtive workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties, as the Yagyeshvar, and those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless therefore one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect, as stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Akama sarva kama va moksha kamo daradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. When one is without desire, the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should with all efforts try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Om ajnana timirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakasodannamilitam yanam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manabhastam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yata Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakandvidamscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Ganta Radha Ganta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Vrishabhano Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo Rama Rama Hare Hare Ye yathā mam prapadyante tāṁs tathaiva bhajāmi aham mama vartmānuvartante manuṣyāḥ pārtha sarvaśaḥ. As all surrender unto me, I reward him accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pṛthā. So here, Kṛṣṇa is speaking to Arjuna, and he is telling him that ultimately everyone, some way, directly or indirectly, is surrendering unto him. The living entities, the jivas, actually they have little independence. Kṛṣṇa is fully independent, Swarat. The jivas, his part and parcels, they are of same nature as Kṛṣṇa, also eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, in a personal form. Kṛṣṇa is Vibhu, is unlimited. The living entities are Anu, infinitesimal. So, just as Kṛṣṇa, so he has independence, so the living entities, they're also having some independence, but it is very minor. Kṛṣṇa can do whatever he wants at any time and everywhere. Whereas the living entities, they have the living little independence that they can choose either to surrender to Kṛṣṇa directly, which is natural for the jivas. Jivara sopoya Kṛṣṇera nityadas. By nature, the jivas, the living entities, are eternal servants of Kṛṣṇa. That is the natural situation. So, but Kṛṣṇa, so is not forcing, but is giving the choice, as he told also Arjuna at the end of the Bhagavad Gita. So I've explained to you this knowledge, what to do and what not to do. Now you can choose as you like. So that small independence is there. One can try to serve Kṛṣṇa directly, willingly, lovingly. Or one can try to be independent, like the conditioned souls in the material world. In the spiritual world, everyone is engaged in Kṛṣṇa's service, in the loving service, transcendental exchange, willingly, lovingly, they're surrendering to Kṛṣṇa. Whereas in the material world, so the conditioned souls, they have forgotten Kṛṣṇa. And therefore they are not directly serving Kṛṣṇa, but they are under the external energy of the Lord. And they're actually practically also not free to do whatever they want. But according to their previous impressions, according to their desires, and also according to what they deserve, they are able to act in a certain way. So, but those who are not surrendering to Kṛṣṇa, they actually ultimately surrender to the external energy, material nature. And sometimes, being under the modes of material nature, sometimes they will go up to the heavenly planets, sometimes they are on these earthly planets, and sometimes they will go to the lower planets, to the hellish planets. But some little freedom is there for the jiva. So either to surrender Kṛṣṇa or to be under the external energy. And there again one has the choice at every moment to either surrender to Kṛṣṇa or to be independent of Kṛṣṇa. And then so many, as explained here by Pṛthā in the Purport, that so many living entities are there and different degrees of surrender are there. So even for the pure devotees, so as Pṛthā is explaining in the spiritual realm, in Golok, so the different relationships are there. But basically they all surrender to Kṛṣṇa. But then there's also a degree of intensity of the service. The degree of love of Godhead. For example, those who are, so to say, in a neutral relationship, like the animals, the trees, so they have love for Kṛṣṇa. But that is not as much as the love as those who have the personal relationship, in personal exchange with Kṛṣṇa. Of course, there in Golok, even the animals, the birds, they are aware of Kṛṣṇa, and they are willingly and lovingly serving Kṛṣṇa, but because of their transcendental forms, so there's some restriction there. Like for example, the cows and the calves, they cannot embrace Kṛṣṇa, although Kṛṣṇa may embrace them. But they have feelings also, and they want to love Kṛṣṇa. And usually, although from one point of view it seems to be neutral or shantaras, but in Golok actually, so it only appears to be shantaras, because in Golok everyone has some feeling and wants to have a loving exchange with Kṛṣṇa. So the cows, for example, they want to give milk to Kṛṣṇa, just like a mother, Maria Yashoda, or the elderly gopis, they want to give milk to Kṛṣṇa, of course, or they want to give some sweets to Kṛṣṇa, the gopis, and they are taking the cow's milk, they are then churning the milk and making butter, and then so they want to give that to Kṛṣṇa also, butter, makkan and mishri. They will add some mishri, make it sweet. So but the cows, they cannot do as much. But they have also this feeling, we want to give our milk to Kṛṣṇa. And the calves, they want to play with Kṛṣṇa, just like the friends. So then the servants are there of Kṛṣṇa. So they see Kṛṣṇa as the master because he's the son of Nanda Baba. So they have more love. So they are, because their reciprocation is much more. They can reciprocate more with Kṛṣṇa. They can speak with Kṛṣṇa. And they want to embrace Kṛṣṇa also. And when, for example, the parents may not be there, then sometimes Kṛṣṇa is embracing them and they are embracing Kṛṣṇa also. But when the parents are there, Kṛṣṇa will not do that because that will be maryada ulangan. They will be transgressing even in the spiritual world. So some apparent rules and regulations are there in the pastime. That is the son of Nanda Baba, the king of Braj. So the servants, they are not crossing the boundaries of the respect towards the king and the son, Nanda Maharaj of the king. But there's so much love there, much more than in Vaikuntha. Because in Vaikuntha, so there Vaikuntha-nath is there, Vishnu is there, Narayana is there, and everyone is basically just like a servant. And they know that Vishnu is Bhagavan, and we are the servants. So there is love there also. But there is some own reverence also. Therefore the love is not as deep, as strong, as sweet as in Braj. Because in Braj, although Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Lord, is the Lord of everyone, is the source of everything, so it's Purushottam, it's Swayam Bhagavan, the original personality of Godhead, but is there in his pastime as a gop, as a cowboy, but is all powerful and most beautiful. And all opulence is there in Braj, but it is covered by the sweetness. And then the friends are there, and so because they are also gopas, they are also sons of coward men, so they're a little superior than the servants. But even there, the different degrees of love is there, and those who are of the same age of Kṛṣṇa, like Vasudam, Sridam, Kinkini, so that they are of the same age, and so they are best friends of Kṛṣṇa. Sudam, Sridam, Vasudam and Kinkini. So very best friends of Kṛṣṇa. And they play together and they joke together. And so then there are those who are a little younger than Kṛṣṇa. Priyanarma Sakas. But they also have so much love for Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa loves them so much. And they're actually very fortunate because they are able to help Kṛṣṇa in the loving exchange with the gopis. And then the ordinary friends are there. And of course Madhumangal is there. And Sobhad is also a special category and is known as a Vita. So he has so much love for Kṛṣṇa. And but he's from the Brahmana family. At the same time he's a big joker. He's making always some jokes. And to entertain Kṛṣṇa and the friends. And even sometimes the other gopas, they are teasing him also. So, and then those in parental affection, there's more love there, that even in friendship, they want to protect Kṛṣṇa. But even that is included also, the friendship in the parental affection. But the most exalted love that is there in Braj, that is there in the spiritual realm, that is the love of the gopis. So that is super excellent. So, but they are all perfect, even in Vaikuntha, although Vaikuntha Bhav is there, Aishwarya Yukt, Prem, so the love is there with some own reverence, but they all fully surrender to Kṛṣṇa constantly and always, and there's so much loving exchange there. So Kṛṣṇa is fully reciprocating, but according to the degree also, then the reciprocation is there. Like the gopis, the love is most exalted. So Kṛṣṇa therefore is so much indebted to the gopis, so to say, and is so much reciprocating with them, more than with anybody else. So that is the transcendental realm. So whereas here in the material realm, as explained here by Prabhupada, for example, so different transcendentalists are there, besides those in Vaikuntha who are liberated. But those who are practicing, so some are realizing that Kṛṣṇa is Bhagavan or Vishnu is Bhagavan, so they are most exalted. Less than them are those who are meditating on Paramatma. and recognizing that the Supersoul is there in everyone's heart. And then even there are different kinds of persons who are respecting the Paramatma. Those who are performing the process of Ashtanga Yoga. So some of them, they also recognize Paramatma and they're meditating on the Paramatma. Whereas others who are also meditating on the Paramatma, they want to merge it with the Paramatma. So they're almost like Mayavadis, impersonalists. And then, so the impersonalists, also so many kinds of impersonalists. Those who are following Shankaracharya, known as Mayavadis, those who are following Lord Buddha, and Nirvisheshvadi. And even amongst them, the different categories are there. So they're also transcendentalists, but they are not so elevated in spiritual understanding. But even they may enter the spiritual realm. But they will not attain the full perfection, which is serving Kṛṣṇa or serving Vishnu or Narayan. They will be situated in the brahma-jyotir, or some of the Mayavadis, or those who are worshipping in the Paramatma, they merge into Vishnu or into Kṛṣṇa. But that is not ultimate liberation. That is a conditioned liberation. Like for example, Nitya Siddha there, they are Nitya Siddha Parikar, eternally perfect. Engage in the loving service, whereas the others, they are known as Nitya Badha. So they are in liberated state, but they are not engaged in service. So they are conditioned, Baddhavasta. But they are not engaged in materialistic activities in the brahma-jyotir. But even from that platform, so they may fall again to this material world after some time. So ultimately that is not required, that is not to be achieved, that is not desired by the intelligent transcendentalists. So only those who are less intelligent, so they will try to merge in the brahma-jyotir. And then in regards to the material world, as explained here by Prabhupada, and according to the verse also, as one surrenders unto me, I reward accordingly. So those in the material world, so those who are bahirmukh, they are not Krishnonmukh, they are not looking towards Kṛṣṇa. They are looking in the material world, trying to enjoy, being the controller or the enjoyer in this material world. But they are not free to do as they want. They are covered by the external energy, as explained before, which is Krishna's energy. Yoga, the two energies are there basically, internal energy and the external energy. So in the spiritual world, the eternal associates, they are under the influence of the eternal energy. Whereas in the material world, the conditioned souls, they are under the influence of the external energy, Mahamaya. And they are, so little freedom is there to act in a certain way. But one is not completely free. So for example, if one is in this material world, in a human form of life, and then one has some choice also. One can act in the mode of goodness, one can act in the mode of passion, or one can act in the mode of ignorance. So some choice is there. And then one can change also. Somebody is maybe mostly in the mode of goodness, engaging in auspicious activities, but sometimes he may be overcome by the mode of passion, because the modes of material nature are always there, and then he may become degraded. Whereas somebody who is in the mode of passion, he may understand ultimately that simply working hard for sense gratification, that is not everything. Let me do some pious activity. Let me try to find out why I'm here in the material world. Let me try to become liberated from this material life. And then he may be elevated. So, according to one's position in this world, And of course, that is also according to one's previous impressions. Then one will have a certain consciousness, and one will be blessed by good environment, by opulence, if one has been pious. And then it may be easier, and one may be more able to advance in spiritual life, or understand the importance of spiritual life, and then one may be able to properly surrender directly. But if one is not aware of the Supreme Lord, of one's position as a spirit soul, then one is bound by the modes of material nature. But even there, to get the results, ultimately, that is dependent on the mercy of the Lord, so to say, ultimately, in order to achieve something in the material world. So one has the ability to work, and according to one's work, one will get some good result also. And if one is engaged in sinful activities, then there will be some reaction, and one has to suffer. But as Kṛṣṇa is explaining also in the 3rd chapter, that karmani-vātya-kāraste, that one may be engaged in one's performance of one's duty, but then one will get the result, but one is not completely entitled to the results, because ultimately everything is to be engaged in Krishna's service. So that is actually there according to the scriptures. If one is not knowing, then one will try to use for sense gratification, but then one will be implicated. Therefore, ultimately, Kṛṣṇa is trying to make Arjuna understand, for our understanding, that we have to surrender to Kṛṣṇa directly, not indirectly. But directly we should try to understand that we are the servants of Kṛṣṇa, and we should serve Kṛṣṇa as much as possible. So that is ultimately what Kṛṣṇa wants. But just to make it clear, he's explaining to Arjuna that everyone ultimately is surrendered unto me, and nobody can live independently of me. Even one is worshipping the demigods to get some good result, as it is mentioned in the scriptures also. But even the demigods, actually, they are not completely free to give all benedictions. It is dependent on Kṛṣṇa also. Kṛṣṇa willing, then they can give the mercy also. And they are also dependent on Kṛṣṇa. So they are not fully independent, the demigods. So therefore they are giving blessings to the worshippers of the demigods, so they can only to some extent, they can reciprocate. So therefore the intelligent persons, they will directly surrender to Kṛṣṇa. And then they will be blessed with the proper understanding that we are the eternal servants of Kṛṣṇa, and then practical realization will be there. And then there will be blissful life, even in this material world. So even if one is not completely liberated, but if one is recognizing Kṛṣṇa, and one is serving Kṛṣṇa to the best of one's ability, then there will be reciprocation, and one will be able to advance more in spiritual life. One will be able to enjoy transcendental happiness, and even be satisfied in the material world. Whatever is required to live in this material world will ultimately be given by Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is taking care, Kṛṣṇa is reciprocating. So Kṛṣṇa is most merciful. So we simply have to recognize the existence of Kṛṣṇa, and then we have to try to surrender. Sometimes we know that we have to surrender to Kṛṣṇa, we have to control the mind and the senses, we should not engage in sense gratification, but as practicing devotees or spiritualists, sometimes it is difficult, because the 3 modes of material nature are very strong. The attachment to this material world is very strong, and to cut that attachment is not so easy. But one has to practice, and it is mentioned also with the sword of knowledge, one has to cut the attachments to this material world. But even that on one's own, it is not possible. but one must have the association of the sadhus, sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koi, ei lava mata sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. So by the association of the sadhus, even a little association with a sadhu, that will help us to progress in spiritual life and to become free from attachment to this material world. So therefore, we should not just try to have only a few moments with a pure devotee, but as much as possible. Then we can advance more, we can be properly situated, and one can be free from the modes of material nature. And actually not only the association of the highly advanced, but even the ordinary devotees, that is required, because material energy is very strong. And on our own, alone, we cannot overcome the three modes of material nature. We need the help of the other devotees. We need the association of other devotees. We need a good environment, living in the temple or near the temple, making our house a temple. And then, but especially being in the association of those who are more advanced and who are surrendered to Kṛṣṇa, then it will be easier for us to surrender also. The devotees who are advanced, they are fully absorbed in spiritual activities. And for them, so from them actually Kṛṣṇa Prema is emanating. And then by being in their association, some drops of Kṛṣṇa Prema can come upon us. And that will make it easier for us to be properly situated in devotional activities and to slowly but surely advance. So we have to be always enthusiastic, as Rupa Goswami has mentioned, utsaha, nishchay daryat, and we should be fixed. That yes, I have to constantly engage in Krishna service, I have to try to become perfect this very lifetime. But one has to be patient also, because it will take some time to become perfect. But if one is on the path of devotional service, then success is guaranteed. It is just a matter of time. So we have to be patient. Actually, very patient one has to be. And then tathā karma pravartanat, always engage in spiritual activities, trying to think about Kṛṣṇa, try to speak about Kṛṣṇa, engage the senses in Kṛṣṇa seva, hearing about Kṛṣṇa, serving the deities, cleaning the temple, cooking for Kṛṣṇa, going to holy places of pilgrimage. But especially also the most important activity is chanting the holy names. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in the age of Kali, chanting the holy names is the most effective means of approaching Kṛṣṇa, of becoming surrendered to Kṛṣṇa, and of making spiritual advancement and realizing Krishna's beautiful transcendental form and our own spiritual transcendental form and our relationship with Kṛṣṇa. The unwanted association has to be given up, means association with materialistic people, envious people, and also even those who are not fixed in devotional service, those who are critical, envious, materialistic, so that has to be avoided. And one has to associate with the devotees who are properly situated, preferably those pure devotees, uttam bhaktas, or at least those who are more advanced than we are. In that association, then we can make more advancement in our spiritual life. And ultimately, one will achieve perfection. So Kṛṣṇa is also promising that to those who are surrendering to me. So here he's saying, I reward accordingly. So if one is very sincere, and it is mentioned if one is taking one step towards Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa will take 10 steps or even 100 steps towards us. So we have to do a little endeavor to surrender to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa will make so much arrangement that we can come closer to Him that we can become pure, that we can come to the highest stage of pure devotional service. So anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma navritam anukulina Kṛṣṇa anuṣīlanam bhakti ruttamam. So we should do anukul, we should do according to Krishna's desire. Anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjanam. So what is anukul, what is favorable, what Krishna likes, anuṣīlanam. As Krishna likes, we should serve him. Not how we like, what we think, but what Krishna wants us to do. That we should do. What Krishna likes, that we should do. So for that we have to approach the spiritual master who knows what Krishna likes, who knows what Krishna wants us to do. So just like, for example, we are offering different things to Krishna, like the pujaris, or if you have deities at home, so we should know what Krishna likes. So anyone knows what Krishna likes, for example, what Krishna likes in the fruits. Of course, Krishna likes all fruits, and we have love for Krishna. Whatever we offer, he will accept. At the same time, still we should know what Krishna likes the most, and we should try to give that to him. Then he will be most pleased. Anyone knows which is Krishna's favorite fruit? Chiku. Yes. Chiku is Krishna's favorite fruit. And Krishna, he likes sweets. You know what sweet? Laddu, malpua, makan mishri, rabri. So these sweets Krishna likes. And as even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned in the scriptures, the foodstuffs in the mode of goodness, that should be offered to Krishna. So we should know what Krishna likes, not only in eating, but in regards to how we should serve him. So according to our nature also, so that also with the help of the spiritual master we will come to know. And then we can do anukul seva, favorable service, Krishna anuṣīlanam, as Krishna desires. And then anyabhilashita shunyam. So we should not have any separate interest except Krishna's interest. We should do what Krishna wants, for Krishna's pleasure, Krishnendriya priti. So, and then not desiring anything for ourselves. There is no need. Because if Krishna is satisfied, we will be satisfied. And whatever we need, Krishna will give us. We don't even have to ask for it. We should just try to do what Krishna wants. And then we will be successful. And then we will be happy. And then we can also, and we should, when we are on the proper path, we should try to help others also. And as Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita at the end, that one who is preaching the secret of this devotional service to other devotees is most dear to me. So we are helping others to become Krishna conscious, that is very much pleasing to Krishna. So therefore the devotees are always trying, besides themselves becoming perfect, they will try to help others to take up devotional service, to chant the holy names, to serve the deities, to read the scriptures, to hear about Krishna. So if one is doing that, that will give pleasure to Krishna. And then, so the more Krishna is pleased, the more we will be pleased, the more we can advance also in our spiritual life. So this process is very blissful of Krishna consciousness. As soon as we take up Krishna consciousness, then we can immediately feel some transcendental pleasure by chanting the holy names, by seeing the deities, by being in the association with the devotees, by hearing about Krishna, and by taking Krishna prasadam. We can feel so much pleasure. So we are very fortunate by Prabhupada's mercy. And here he has built a beautiful Krishna Balaram temple. We can serve the deities, we can see the deities, we can hear about Krishna, Krishna's wonderful pastimes, especially in Braj. As we are hearing in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class now, the 10th canto is there, and the first part, which is about Krishna's pastimes in Braj, and they're so most wonderful, most sweet. So we're very fortunate to be here at this time and to be engaged in devotional service by Prabhupada's mercy. Hare Krishna. Any question? Yes.
Krishna likes in terms of dresses, in terms of...
In terms of dresses?
Everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Okay, fine, yeah. So Krishna is known as meticulous dresser. He likes to dress very nicely. Of course, we as devotees, we dress simple, but Krishna is a supreme enjoyer. So like ladies, they like to have different kinds of saris, red sari, white sari, blue sari, for different day and different sari. And so Krishna also, he has different dresses actually. According to also, for example, when he's going to Radhakund, noontime to meet the gopis there, especially Radharani. Different kunjas are there with different colors. So, like for example, Lalita Devi's, she has a dress like a greenish, bluish, just like a peacock feather. And even some peacock feathers are there in her main dress. Similarly, her kunj is like this also. And Krishna will wear a similar dress, and Radharani also, when they are there. Because sometimes, very rarely, but still sometimes Jyotila and Kutila are going there to look for Krishna or Radharani. And, but she's usually never successful to see Krishna and Radharani together. She may see Radharani only or Krishna only, but Krishna's Yoga Maya. And so different dresses are there for Krishna. But he's famous for wearing pitambar vesh, yellow dhoti and chadar. This is his favorite dress. Why also? Because Srimati Radharani's color is golden, yellowish golden, tapta kanchana gaurangi. And he wants to embrace Radharani always, but he cannot. Because of the pastime, she's there in the morning at her own house. And then, of course, she's coming to cook for Krishna in Nandagaon. But even there, she cannot be close with Krishna. Because the parents are there, Maria Yashoda, Nanda Baba. So she's cooking, and then some offerings are sent there, what she has cooked also. But they cannot be close. Only they can look at each other. And Radharani is looking through the window in the dining hall how Krishna is eating. So, but Krishna wants to be close, he wants to be always with Radharani. So therefore he's putting yellow dress. And therefore Srimati Radharani, because Krishna is Shyam Sundar. And like a blue, like now rainy season, the dark rain cloud is there. So therefore Meg is there. The yellow, the cloud, which is having so much water, which is the rain cloud. Meg. So therefore Krishna's name is Megha Shyam. So that is his color. And so therefore she has a blue dress. So Krishna's favorite color is yellow. Therefore is a yellow dhoti. And then even, of course, because of that, so even his eyes, as we know, different colors are there. White is outside, but the pupil, the inner side, different colors. So Krishna's color is also reddish color, reddish, almost golden, because he always wants to see Srimati Radharani. So he wants to always see Radharani, he wants to hear about Radharani also. All the time he's trying to always think about Radharani, and mostly he's thinking about Radharani, even when he's with his friends, even when he's with Maria Yashoda, he's mostly thinking about Srimati Radharani. So that is, of course, Srimati Radharani, she's the internal potency, she's the most dear of all the gopis. So Krishna wants to be always together with Radharani. And so in this way, things which are related to Radharani's form or color also, that is to Krishna's liking. So yellow color or yellow cloth or the yellow flowers, like for example Vasant Ritu is there, yellow color is there. Of the flowers, also the mustard seed flowers. So Krishna likes anything yellow, the sunflower, Suryamukhi, because it will remind him of Srimati Radharani. So of course then so many other things which Krishna likes, and for example, as we know, the flute is there, Vamsi, Venu. Krishna likes so much the flute, and he's playing the flute and he's famous for that. But even so many things are there which Krishna is having, which is giving him pleasure also, which Krishna likes. So, of course, for example, even in, as we know, that Krishna is taking care of the cows, and the cows are very dear to Krishna, and is therefore known as Gopal or Govinda. Is the protector or giving, is protecting or taking care of the cows, and so they are very dear to him. The cows and the calves and even the bulls. And Krishna, of course, as we know also, milk is very good for the body. And so Krishna likes to drink cow's milk also. But there's one special cow which Krishna likes very much, and he wants the milk only from that cow. And he always asks his mother, you bring me the milk of that cow. So very fortunate cow is there. And then Krishna, he likes, for example, beautiful ornaments. And even it is mentioned, although he may have golden ornaments, silver ornaments, but he likes actually the most he likes ornaments made with flowers. Flower garlands, even flower anklets, flower bangles are there, flower earrings are there. So he likes them very much. He likes flowers because flowers are soft, flowers are beautiful, and mostly, especially in Golok, all the flowers have a very nice fragrance. And even you can see in this world here in India, in Bharatvarsha, in Braj, for example, the Bela flowers, very, very fragrant. Or the Radki Rani, so Rajnigandha. So very, very nice smell is there. So he likes flower ornaments also very much. More so than golden or silver or even jeweled ornaments which are there. So, and even for example in metals, when we do puja, it is mentioned, so and people think gold is most valuable. In one sense it is true, according to the value in the market also gold is the most valuable metal. And it is beautiful also. At the same time, we know that in the age of Kali, the personality of Kali is hiding in the gold. And therefore you can see wherever there is gold, there will be usually also some, many times corruption is there, or fighting will be there, because it is attracting the people, and then they will try to get the gold. So, but besides that gold is valuable, it is beautiful, but at the same time, it is not most dear to Krishna. One may have golden artik paraphernalia, golden thali. Krishna is okay, gold is fine. But actually most pleasing to Krishna is copper. Copper. So if you have copper thali or copper paraphernalia, Achman cup, that is most pleasing to Krishna. And then also there, but you have to do some mehnat, you have to do some work to make it shine. And that is an expression of love also. If you don't polish it, then it looks not so beautiful. And then, well, Krishna will like it still. But if you polish it very nicely, then actually by doing this, the copper will look beautiful and your heart will be cleansed. And that will attract Krishna. So copper amongst the metal, that is most pleasing to Krishna. So in this way, so many things are there which Krishna likes, which is mentioned in the scriptures. And by hearing, by reading the books of the previous acharyas, then we come to know more and more what Krishna likes. And then we may offer that also to Krishna So as we know, Kṛṣṇa likes the flute, therefore Kṛṣṇa is wearing, always we offer Kṛṣṇa flute. And there are three kinds of flute. Vamsi, Murli and Venu. The big one, medium size and small one. And even that, Kṛṣṇa doesn't only have three flutes, but he has many flutes. For different rags, so the different flutes are used. Even the traditional flute players in Bharatvarsha, they will have many flutes. They will use different flutes for different songs, with different melodies, different rags. So Kṛṣṇa is very much fond of the flute. And even, of course, he likes all the animals, but especially he likes the cows, but then he likes the peacocks also. And Kṛṣṇa is also famous for always wearing a peacock feather. So there also the peacocks, out of love, many times they will offer peacock feathers to Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa is taking them, putting in his hair or in the turban or on the crown, is on the top of Kṛṣṇa's body, the peacock feather. So Kṛṣṇa very much likes the peacock feather also. That is very dear to him, the peacock feather and the flute. But he has other ornaments also, Kaustuba mani, and he has different ornaments, and they all have a different names. He has a bugle also, he has a buffalo horn, and and as we know, usually, of course, the cow is superior than the buffalo, but still, even in Golok, there are buffaloes also. And one of Kṛṣṇa's brother, the youngest, Kṛṣṇa's father's brother, Kṛṣṇa's one uncle, the youngest one, he has actually buffaloes. And Kṛṣṇa is not taking buffalo milk, but is taking buffalo yogurt, dahi, from the buffaloes, because it is thick and it is very relishable also. And but usually we offer cow's milk and cow's yogurt to Kṛṣṇa. But sometimes, even if you may offer buffalo yogurt also, because it is there in the scriptures. And so yes, so many things are there where Kṛṣṇa likes, and so. Even Kṛṣṇa has a japamala, but he's not chanting the Maha mantra, but he's actually counting the different herds which are there, the different groups of cows. Kṛṣṇa's father has 900,000 cows. So there's 108 main groups of cows. And they all have the name, and Kṛṣṇa knows all of them. And some of them are very, as I mentioned already, some of them are very dear to Kṛṣṇa. Of course, all the cows are dear to Kṛṣṇa, just like all the gopis are dear to Kṛṣṇa. But the most dear is actually Śrīmati Radharani. Similarly, amongst the cows, there are some favorite cows of Kṛṣṇa also, so which are there. So he has a japamala and he's counting. Okay, this is one herd of cow, second herd of cow. And so when they're going back from the pasturing grounds, he's just checking if all the cows are here. And he knows when one cow is missing. And then he's calling by name or he's playing the flute to attract the cows, and they are all coming. So Kṛṣṇa, of course, ultimately what his bhava grahi janat, and he wants our love more than anything else. So although, for example, you may offer chiku, but the love should be there also. If you are angry and in angry mood you offer to Kṛṣṇa chiku, okay, he will accept the chiku, but he wants your love also. Whereas if you have a love and you're offering a banana, Kṛṣṇa will accept also. So he wants our love more than anything else. So that we have to understand also. Bhakti, we should try to develop our love. Actually it is there, our love, but our consciousness has to be purified. And then the love will manifest. And Kṛṣṇa is actually looking for that. Okay? All right. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So Kṛṣṇa, he likes to eat sweets also, and he's very merciful. He's giving us Kṛṣṇa prasad. क्या है? क्लास से पहले बनाना है, क्लास के बाद बनाना है. एक और, दो चाहिए। हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna. Oh, you have. माता जी के लिए कितना है? हाँ? कितना माता जी है? दो, चार, दो, 5 लोग हैं। 4, 5। हाँ? Yes.
The Graha Pradesh.